The Daytona 500 on Fox is sponsored by Ford, proud sponsor of NASCAR.
I don't know if you're aware of it, but it's quite a bit of pay at halfway. I'll keep you posted on that, but I just think it'll get pretty stupid around halfway. Shootout money for halfway. Got it.
$200,000 is the midway payday for the driver that leads the halfway lap. That is coming 33 laps from now as we go back to green. Jeff Burton's Chevrolet on the outside of Greg Biffle's Ford.
And with that caution, I truly believe if we go caution free to the halfway lap 100, every driver out there should be able to make it on fuel. The only one I question is Clint Boyer in the 15 who pitted back on lap 55.
And it's starting, you know, the crew chiefs are starting to remind the drivers that halfway, that's $200,000. I mean, that's a lot of money. A lot of races don't even pay that much to win.
Marcus Ambrose with Biffle. Kyle Busch in the 18 behind him. Clint Boyer, Joey Logano. Those three Toyotas lined up on the inside lane behind the front two Fords.
Now Marcus Ambrose in that 9, he's been so strong the entire speed weeks. Top 5 in the Budweiser shootout, top 5 in the Gatorade dual race.
You know, Larry, we were talking, and I hadn't seen a lot of steam coming out of any of the cars under race conditions, but that car right there of Matt Kenseth's, when he came into pits, he was having some sort of an issue, and you can see here they're circulating some water through the thing over on the left side over there. The guys that got a water hose, putting water in this car, trying to cool it back down.
It's a pressurized system, and what they've done, Steve, it looks like they've tried to get that water out and get that system back full.
And Larry, Mack, here's what Matt Kenseth described it as. He says it's like the water system won't pressurize. The water temperatures are fluctuating wildly for him. Just another issue. He's having some radio problems as well.
If you just think about your own passenger car, the water temperature won't fluctuate at all. It doesn't have any water in it. And so I think that's what he maybe is fighting there. He's got to get some water back in it because the gauges can't work without water.
Kenseth still on the lead lap, but not with the lead pack. Joe Nemechek has taken his car to the garage. Michael McDowell makes an unscheduled pit stop, but up front, this pack still rages, and it's 28 cars deep.
Probably the biggest surprise of the evening for me, Mike, has been how bunched up these cars have stayed. I really anticipated things getting stretched out a little bit more than they have, but the caution have fallen right, and track conditions are perfect. It's a nice, cool night, a lot of grip. Everybody's able to hang together.
Danica Patrick caught up in the lap 2 crash, had this to say to her team as she headed back out on the racetrack.
Thank you all for working so hard.
What's that?
Just said thanks for working so hard for us to get me back out.
Steering wheel might be off a little bit.
Okay. I'll let you know if something feels really weird.
She is 62 laps down, but out there getting some valuable track time. She'll run 10 of these Sprint Cup races this year.
And she had so much confidence coming into Daytona. This has been her best racetrack in a nationwide car or in a cup car. This is really was from somewhere where she had kind of marked as a good place to get a great finish.
If she's running a limited schedule, the question, why would they put her back out there and she's that many laps down? They want her to get seat time, but remember, that 10 car is running the entire schedule. In fact, the driver that's going to be in at Phoenix, David Rudiman, in the 93 car, he has cracked the top 10.
3 wide racing mid-pack, and look at Denny Hamlin in the 11 going tandem with the 56 of Martin Truex.
And this is what NASCAR, the 2-car tandem, and you see here Hamlin's so smart. He got off of Truex getting into the corner because you don't want to push a guy in the corner, but Hamlin is hungry, man.
But you could see on the pointer is Denny Hamlin in the 11 was pushing Martin Truex Jr. in 56. The pointer went over 200 miles per hour.
And Truex is inching his way toward the front of the inside line, led by Greg Biffle.
And the changes that were made in the offseason to the cooling system, you can push for maybe a lap or 2. You just can't push for 10 or 15 or all day.
28 laps to halfway. And that ring the bell lap for the $200,000 midway payday bonus. Now, back in the day, Michael Waltrip, we used to have a halfway bonus. It wasn't as much money, but I recall a day when you and Ken Schrader really went at it to get that extra money. Major League Baseball right around the corner. MLB on Fox returns April 7th. 73 laps complete. The Fords of Greg Biffle and Aussie Marcus Ambrose lead the Toyotas of Kyle Busch, Clint Boyer, and Joey Logano. Let's take an inside look at what's happening in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, brought to you by Sprint. Jeff Burton and Denny Hamlin have each led 24 laps, most of all drivers in the 77 laps so far. And the biggest mover in this race, David Rudiman, has gained 21 spots, driving a car for a team that was just put together in the last 2.5 weeks from the bones of the former Red Bull organization. New leader is Martin Truex. He worked his way up the outside. Denny Hamlin, Greg Biffle, Marcus Ambrose, Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon always is interesting to me, Larry. In the Bud shootout, I think it was, said his car wouldn't run. Something was wrong with the front shocks. A little bit ago, he called in and said, I got no speed. The car just won't go. How do you take a car that won't go and get up that close to the front?
He's just looking for more speed. I think he has pretty good speed. He's just looking for more. We're looking at Martin Truex Jr. in that 56 car. I know we've got 22 laps to that halfway money, $200,000. Martin Truex Jr. led the halfway lap a year ago, a little less payday, only $50,000 last year in 2011.
79 laps complete. Truex the leader. His closest teammate, Clint Boyer, the 5-Hour Energy Toyota, in 7th. Within sight of the lead. 4 cars back on the inside lane. That's Jeff Gordon, the 24. And the 55 is another new teammate at MWR.
I would say Martin is lurking. He just kind of lurks around, and won't hear a whole lot about him for a while.
53-year-old Mark Martin, his 30th year in Sprint Cup. We know how close he came in 2007 to winning the 500. Barely got beat back to the line by Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, I guess off of turn 4, he had it, he lost it. He had it, and he lost it. He lost it.
53 years old and in better personal shape, physical shape, than most 33-year-olds. Brad Keselowski in the Blue Deuce in 12th place. He's the leading Dodge Charger in this race as we are 20 laps to halfway. We saw Jeff Gordon wave out the window.
Oh,
smoke
trouble.
Fire on Jeff Gordon's Chevrolet.
Engine just blew all to pieces.
We're blowing up, guys. It's all done.
3-time Daytona 500 winner Jeff Gordon has brought out the 4th caution flag of the night at lap 81. I saw that hand out the window, Darrell, to signal the drivers behind.
That water pressure gauge was not working properly, but I don't know. I never went red on any of my gauges, you know, so I have no idea where that came from.
You know, it's the second guy we've heard talk about maybe the gauge is not working right. When a car sets overnight, sometimes they get a lot of moisture in the gauges and in the whole system, and the gauges may have malfunctioned, caused Jeff not to realize he had a problem until it was too late.
Pulls to the outside and signals. Mark Martin gets away from right behind him. Good thing.
Hendrick Motorsports is going for their 200th win here this weekend, and Jeff Gordon's not going to deliver it. Jimmy Johnson's not going to deliver it.
That leaves Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Casey Kane for the Hendrick team.
Mark Martin in the 55 for a moment was going to follow him. He thought Jeff Gordon was just moving up, and then he realized what was going on as he saw Jeff waving that hand out the window.
While we're speaking of Rick Hendrick, the Fox team would really like to send out a great gratitude of thank you, Rick, for what you did for all the Fox team this past week. Everybody really appreciated your handout, and it was great.
Tony Raines will receive the free pass on this, the 4th caution flag of the night, as Gordon coasts around to the garage area.
The big question, would that halfway money change strategy at this point of the race? Everyone's going to make a pit stop, but Steve, I think we may see guys really doing something to get off pit road in a hurry.
Exactly right, Larry Mack. Fuel only for Martin Truex Jr., the leader. Crew chief Chad Johnston saying, don't slide your tires, don't slide. Krista?
Steve, that's the same request for Greg Biffle. Don't slide your tires. Also, the driver wants his car freed up just a little bit. Matt?
Still debate on what to do for Kyle Busch. They are going to go ahead and change right side tires only. They were debating, Dick, whether to go fuel only or tires. They went tires.
Joey Logano also told not to slide his tires. He's got new voices in his ear, new crew chief and a new spotter, and he's run very well in this race so far.
The race off pit road won by Greg Biffle, Marcus Ambrose, and Martin Truex drops 2 spots. There's pole sitter Carl Edwards.